Hello guys, in this video I'm going to help you guys set up Jest and the React testing library in Vite with TS Jest and TS Node so you can use TypeScript. First of all, I'm going to open React Vite application with TypeScript that I made some time ago, I think a week ago, and it's a simple to-do list, so I'm going to open that. And I'm going to open it here so you guys can see. It's very simple, but it's good for training and all. And first of all, the first thing that I want to do is put here in this to-do list everything that we need to do to set up Jest with React testing library with Vite and TypeScript. Because I think that this process is way more complex than it should be. It's not simple, and it took me some time to understand, and I had many bugs, many problems, and I want to help you guys solve these problems as fast as you can so you can continue your journey on learning Jest and unit tests with Jest and React testing library. So first of all, we are going to have to install Jest and React testing library, right? First of all, it's only Jest actually. So install Jest. Then I'm going to add tests to the package.json, then install React testing library. Then I'm going to install Babel, identify object proxy, and Jest environment.js done. I'm going to show you guys everything, so keep with me in this video, and I promise you will be out of this video with Jest installed and running in your Vite environment. And if you have any issues, you can comment on this video or even call me in my LinkedIn or something like that. I can try to help you. But I'm going to create the Jest package.json and create the file setup.ts, actually not JS anymore, and create the babel.config.cgs, add the coverage to git ignore, and account and mock images and style files. It's many things we need to do. Create a folder called mocks inside source and a new file called filemocks.js, and in the end added this to the package.json, which I think that it's already somewhere here. First of all, we need to install Jest, right? To install Jest, we are simply going to run this command on our project. So here I have my main project. As you can see, it's simple. I don't have Jest. I have types, React done, ESLint, like the normal Vite setup, it's very simple. I have some components, some hooks. I'm going to install Jest and types Jest. So you are going to run npm install, and everything you do in this video, you are going to use save dev, because these configurations like tests are only for the development. You're not going to use this on the build. So you don't need to build this, don't need to build these node models, these libraries and everything. We are just going to use it just like TypeScript as we develop the project, So we are going to run npm install Jest first thing, and let's see how it goes. Perfect. So a lot of packages added to the project. If we look at our package.json, we have Jest and types Jest over here. That's perfect, that's beautiful. Next thing, so let's go to our project and reinstall Jest. Now we need to install the React testing library. But first, we need to go to our package.json and add a test command to our package.json. So we can run npm run Jest, probably run test. So a lot of no tests found, but you know, we need to set up some things before we start creating tests. The next thing is install the React testing library. We need to install all of these packages. This is like everything here we need to use to test React projects. This is like a more complex this needs a more complex video to show you guys how to use the user event to test for clicks and all of that, but this video is only for setup the Jest and React testing library on your Vite environment. So the next thing is install the test library React. We are going to install it. I know that I could install it all of this in the same command, but for the teaching purposes, I'm doing it like this so you guys don't get lost, right? So next thing, install savedev, npm install savedev testing library React. We wait. Let me close this. Okay, 13 packages. That's not too much. Next thing, we are going to install the testing library Jest done. Okay, 11 packages, also not too much. And then the user event, so you can test for clicks, like updating forms, inputting forms, and all of that. So user event. Oh, look, npm install savedev testing library user event. So now I'm going to put a done here on install the React testing library. Now we need to install all of these packages here, which is related to the Babel package, the identify object proxy, which I'll tell you guys later what we use this for, and Jest environment.js done, Jest environment.js done, which I'll tell you later how to use this. But let's go one by one. The first one is the Babel core. We are going to install it. Okay, installed. Now we are going to install the Babel preset env. Okay, now we are going to install the Babel preset React. Perfect, installed. Now it's the Babel preset TypeScript. A lot of packages, I know. It's kind of very annoying to use Jest. Oops, there's an error here. But it is what it is, right? We need to test, and Jest likes a perfect library and package for tests, and we need to deal with it. Now I installed the Babel Jest, and I'm installing identify object proxy. The next thing is the Jest. Oops. Let me see what is wrong. Savedev identify object proxy. Think it's here. Let me take a look. I'm going to take a look with you guys because we need to install this one. So npm install identify object proxy. This is the command, right? I think we need to install it like this. Let's see what happens. Perfect. It is installed. And now the Jest environment.js done. Perfect. Also installed. Now we can go back to our to-do list here, to-do app, and mark it mark this as done. So we're going to create a test, actually Jest, in our package.json. Is a Jest property. We could, and many tutorials, they create like jest.config.js. We could do that, but we also can do it inside our package.json, which I think it's a good idea, right? So we just create Jest over here, and we are going to add some things inside this object. So the first property is test environment. Test environment is that this last package that we installed, and like I don't know how to explain very well how this is used, but it's for React. We can like use the DOM in tests and everything, and that's basically it. So setup files, that's a good one. Another property, which is an array actually with only one file. So setup files after env, we have we tell which one is the setup file for Jest, right? And the setup file is inside the root directory. It's called setup Jest, but now it's ts. I'm going to create this file very soon, so keep with me. Modulo name mapper. This is needed because Jest gives a lot of errors when you have like CSS or JPEG, SVG or something like that inside your components. Like in the app, you're importing a logo and it has like SVG or PNG. It gives an error because it doesn't see those things. It just sees JavaScript or TypeScript, and we needed to like do a proxy to like kind of ignore it in some way. And this is the way we ignore it. We do a proxy with it, and with this property called modulo name mapper, right? And this is the identify object proxy, which is the one of the last package that we installed. We use it here, so we can deal with just CSS, LES, or SAS, or any style sheet files. And this one, we needed to create also this file. We are going to create it right now, which it kind of ignores all of these files over here, so it doesn't returns an error when we are running the test. So we are going to create this file. You create a folder and call it mocks. Mocks. And inside this folder, you have file mock.js. Right, and soon I'm going to update this folder and collect coverage from we are going to collect coverage from here. Which is another property that I will show you guys. I actually need to change that because it's returning an error, but I will do it very soon. I have another project that I will copy of mine actually. And now I'm going to create the setup test.ts, right? So it's just a file .ts, and I'm going to import the testing library Jest done in here. You see that this file is being set up here. Root directory setup tests .ts. And it's just that, it just imports the testing library Jest done over here. Perfect. Now let me see what I did. I did this. Now I needed to create the babel.config cgs, right? If you create with GS, it will give some errors, and we can do it with CGS also. And it's created over here, as you see. And now you have this inside the babel.config.cgs. So don't ask me why we use this just in the documentation. Ask Jest about that. Perfect. Next thing is we created the babel.config.cgs, right? And we also needed to add this inside of here, because if we don't, let me show you guys, it returns an error and modulo is not defined, and we can just add null and def for this line. And that's basically it, right? Next thing, we add coverage to the .gitignore, but not, let me see. Now we needed to create that, to update that file mock.js. That file mock.js over here, it just needed to contain this file, this line over here. Also, we need to add this to the inside of here, so it doesn't return that same error as babel.config.cgs. We are almost there. Add this to the package.json. It's already added, as you can see, and now we need to add coverage to the git ignore. So let me find the git ignore over here, and we just add this over here because when we create the tests, we start the tests, we are going to have a folder called coverage, and this folder doesn't need to go like to the git repo, to the remote git repo, you know. It's just like node models, so it creates a lot of files, it doesn't need to go there. Account and mock images and style files, let me see. Yeah, it's over here. So we already did that, and we already created the mocks and added this to the package.file.test. So it's like everything is done. I need to show you guys some things and actually update some things. First of all, I need to update this college cover from, because it returns a lot of errors and it's not collecting coverage in my tests. It was not actually. So I had an update, and I'll show you guys what I did. Open this file also in the code, and we can copy easier from here. So this is another project, it's not the same, and I have here some setups from collect coverage from and collect path ignore patterns. We are going to copy this over here, and also copy this over here, and also the transform later. The transform is related to the TS Jest and the TS node actually. So first of all, the collect coverage from, we have the source folder, and everything that is inside here that has GS, GSX, or TS or TSX needs to be covered, you know. So like it needed to be tested and all of that. Things that have DTS doesn't need, so here's the not, right? Not sign. And all of these things doesn't need to be covered, and also these folders doesn't need even to be like in the path. Doesn't need to check anything inside of them. Perfect. These folders and these files, this folder actually, and these two files, and we needed to put the transform also over here, and I'm going to put all of these configurations in the my Git readme. So of this project, of this to-do list, it's going to be in the description. You can go there and copy out the configuration, everything, and it will run in your Vite environment. This is basically it. Let me see if I have something more. Import, that's correct, Babel. Yeah, that's basically it. Also, there's another thing. In here, in the package.json, we have two commands that we need. We have already the first one, which is Jest, and the second one, which is with coverage. So we are going to give the coverage command and the watch all. So it's going to watch all the files, and whenever you update a file like Ctrl S or saves a file, it's going to rerun the tests. So it's show you like which file is coverage and which file is not coverage and all of that. That's basically it. Now we are going to test. I hope it works, of course. Now we need to test. First of all, to test the Jest and React testing library inside a Vite environment with the React and TypeScript, we needed to do some things. First of all, we needed to create let's create here inside the source folder something called tests, right? And we only have like an app over here. This is the to-do list, right? We have this app that we can see if it renders. So let's here. First of all, let's have the tests, but also let's have the app spec.tsx, right? Every time you want to test something, you have to have the spec.tsx or test.tsx, just like this. app.test.tsx, just like that. And if it's a tsx file, you need to use tsx. If it's a ts file, you use ts based on the component or the file that you are testing, right? If it's a function or something like that. Like the hooks here, you can use ts to test, and it goes like this. Now to test this, I'm going to import some things, which is a render and a screen, right? From the testing library .react, right? Let me see. So it imported but never used it. And so let's create our first test, right? It's very simple, it's very easy, and we are going only to see if it renders the app correctly. Basically that. In the next video, maybe I can show you some other more complex tests with this project, like testing for the form input or buttons, or like how the arrays render and anything like that. But first of all, let's do our first test here in this project. To start, we are going to have the describe and renders app and a function, and we are going to have it, right? Okay, it and it renders app and another function, and let's just check if it renders the app, right? So npm run test and coverage. Setup tests and setup files after env option was not found. Let me take a look on that. Setup tests.ts. Where is my setup tests.ts? Oh, it's here. It's correct actually. So let me take a look. Root directory, setup tests, setup test. Oh, it's setup test. So I had a typo over there. TS Jest in that. Oh, also we needed to install TS Jest and TS node. We need to install the TS Jest first. TS Jest, and the TS node. Okay, now let me run the test again and see if it runs. It's running. Okay, so it works, and as you can see, it shows the files that are being covered over here. As you can see, that we have one tested and one passed. So one tested and one passed, which is the one we have over here, that's basically what we wanted it to do. As you can see, I just pressed Ctrl S, saved the file again, and it ran the test again. So now that we know that the one test that we have is working, it's passing, which is basically telling us that the app is being rendered. Okay, we are going to write even another test, and for that we need to have another it over here and like write what this test is, write about like what we want to check in this test. And basically I want to check if the to do app text is render, right? And I'm going to write another function over here, an arrow function, and expect screen, and we need to import screen from the React testing library. So over here, screen dot get by text to do app, right, to be in the document. This is another error that we have, and for this error we basically need to have over here, and I actually don't know how to solve this. If you know how to solve it, just import the same thing over here. And now we have two tests, and to do app text is not being how can I say, not being not passing. And let me see why. First of all, we don't have the render app in here, and we could do that. We could put a render app and see if it works, it passes, and both of them now are passing. That's because in the first one we have the render app, right? In the second one we are testing to see if inside the app we have to do app, but we don't have the render app, because when this one ends, the render app almost like it stops rendering basically. The thing is that if we want to have more tests like this, like let's say we have even another test about the same, but this one is not rendered, this one is rendered, this one is not. Let's see what happens. We have two passing and one is not. This is because here it renders and stops rendering, and here is not rendering anymore. To work like this, it's not good practice, as I said, to put like render over here even again, because if I save this, is going to have 3 tests passing, but this is not good. So we can come over here, and before each we can have here a function that renders the app, right? So let me delete all of this and save again and show you guys that the 3 tests are passing the same, because now before each test we run this, which renders the app, so we can check if like the to-do app is inside the app component. And that's basically how you test in Jest with TypeScript, TS Node, TS Jest, and React testing library. I don't know if this was a like if you understand this video, but you can watch it all again And you can check my GitHub repo for this project, which in the README I will put everything that I did, all the commands and all the configurations, so you can follow up and copy from there. Be free to reach me out, and I hope to see you guys later in the next video, which I don't know when I will be making it, but that's basically it. I'm happy I could solve this problem, and I didn't solve this problem, which if I remove this from here, the to be in the document is not to be property to be in the document does not exist on this type, so I needed to add the Jest done again and again in every file that I have. This is kind of boring. I don't know how to solve it. If you guys know how to solve it, let me know in the comments. I'll be glad, and that's it. Goodbye.